Hello people of YouTube, I'm Anna, aka Critically Composed, and 10 years ago, I posted some of my first ever covers on my old Tumblr account. 2013 was when I first started posting covers online, and now that it is 2023, I thought it might be fun to go back and listen to some of those old covers and re-record them for you, just to see how much my voice has grown in the past 10 years. So I've got my old Tumblr account's My Voice tag up, and so we're just gonna scroll through it and look at some of the songs, see how they sound. I'm gonna comment on them a bit, and then I'm gonna show you how I improved or didn't improve them. So first, we've got a cover of Theodosia's My Nightmare. I'm gonna have a nightmare tonight. I'm gonna be my nightmare tonight. You're pretty picky, you're a click of one, I'm right, though surely I'm not the only gun you've got loaded. How do you keep from gloating? So as you can hear, it's kind of, like you can sort of hear my voice currently underneath there, but it's very nasal, very forward, and the intonation sounds really young. Like you can tell that this was a kid that was singing this. But yeah, 10 years later, because this was fall of 2013, so almost 10 years later, let's see what I sound like now. I'm gonna have a nightmare tonight. I'm gonna be my nightmare tonight. You're pretty picky, you're a click of one, I'm right, though surely I'm not the only gun you've got loaded. How do you keep from gloating? You're pretty tricky, did you pick that shade just to distract from the flash of the shining blade you got hidden? Deep wounds overwritten. I got so many new friends to see. So many possibilities. Now I couldn't possibly feel worse. I got so many fires left to nurse. Now, please excuse the really bad video quality for all these video clips here. I was recording it in Jonaya's recording booth, which does not have space for me to set my camera, does not have space for me to put my phone anywhere, and it is a really tight little closet. So yeah, ignore how ugly it looks, just listen to my voice, please. Now, that first cover, I recorded on an earbud mic because I didn't have my snowball yet, which, yes, I used a snowball for 5 years. Don't at me, I was 16. But this next cover was one of the first covers I did when I got my snowball. It is rough. It's really rough. This is a cover of Horizon's Flare, and there's a lot of stuff in here that I wish I did not do. Things fall apart so easily, they break away at the seams that it seems. This is the life I was fated to lead. Dreams dead in the water and you wanna let it pass. I wanted something better than less than a post-mortem kiss and 3 years to miss you. But it seems that's all I'm gonna get, it's best to forget. Hear what I did there? I put a lot of weight into pass. I hadn't learned the art of hiding when I can't hit a low note. So many things I wanted to do, so many dreams left for dead in the water, drowned and gone, just smile and let them go. The peaking. I didn't really know how to work the mic. That is obviously something I learned over the course of these 10 years. Also, this is a really tricky interval. It's like a ninth. Smile and let them go. Yeah, you'll see here that honestly, my belt hasn't really improved that much. So let's take a listen to that. Things fall apart so easily, they break away at the seams, and it seems this is the life I was fated to lead. Dreams dead in the water and you wanna let it pass. I wanted something better than this, than a post-mortem kiss and 3 years to miss you. And it seems that's all I'm gonna get, it's best to forget. dead in the water, drowned and gone, just smile and let them go. Alright, up next we've got another Famisi, and this one is kind of, honestly, I'd say this is kind of a vocal turning point for me. And so I had done a couple other Famisi songs between My Nightmare and this one, which is an apology. So we could say the start of the Vriska era, which has never really ended. But I did a couple Famisi songs between those two, and each time, as always, Famisi did reblog it, put it in their awesome people tag, which I always really appreciated that they would always reblog their covers. But this was the first cover where it wasn't just they reblogged it and put it in their tag. They reblogged it, put it in their tag, and also tagged it. Let me see exactly what it was. Oh, Famisi didn't just tag it something nice. Famisi reblogged it and added in the comments, "Seriously, everybody needs to listen to these. What a fantastic voice you have." And that, I think this was like the first moment where I realized, hey, maybe my voice is actually good. I think this was the end of my junior year of high school. So I was 16, but it was 2014. So let's give that a listen. I got the wind knocked out of me, why just to curl up and die? No, I've got too much pride, so I breathe it in and let it out slow. When I turn to go, find you trailing behind. I fought for every last inch that I got. Forgive me for leaving my spot. I do sound young. You can tell that I am 16 here, but there is a huge jump in quality from My Nightmare to An Apology. You can hear that this voice could grow into my voice very easily. But let's see what that voice grew into. Once upon a time, a stutter disgusted me, utter distrusted me. Pity you couldn't fly. I've only ever taken what's mine. So what if I help you? I'm helping myself too twice. I got the wind knocked out of me, why just to curl up and die? No, I got too much pride, so I breathe it in and let it out slow. When I turn to go, I find you trailing behind. I fought for every last inch that I got. Forgive me for leaving my spot. Not standing and wait while you finish the race with those two broken legs you've got. Now, I say the other one is the start of my Vriska era, but this is the real start of my Vriska era. This was the first ever Vriska parody I ever did, and it got me into a couple Vriska singing blogs. This is the summer going into my senior year of high school, 2014. I applied to a bunch of Broadway Vriska singing blogs, and I got into 2 of them, and for the next year I posted 2 Vriska covers every single month, and honestly I can't say that Vriska didn't help me grow my voice, but this is the first iteration of Vriska. A proto-Vriska, if you will. How to avoid getting backstab, try not to get too close, especially when she's the friend you supposedly turn to toast. How to avoid meddlers, you don't need help from anyone. How to feel worthless unless you're winning against someone. I'll teach you all this, these 8 easy steps, a course of these 6 weeks you'll never forget. As you can tell, proto-Vriska does not really sound like my Vriska. Too deep? Not bright enough? I hadn't solidified exactly what I wanted her to sound like yet, and I hadn't really figured out how to sing as her yet either, so... And honestly, if I want to comment on anything here, it's the really bad lyrics. They do not scan well, they don't fit well in the lyrics that already exist. If I could go back and redo this one, I'd completely redo the lyrics. But we are only redoing little bits and we're focusing on my voice, so let's see what my voice sounds like now. How to slay other flarpers for fear of being a meal. How to betray your sister, causing her eyes to bleed teal. How to control someone to be a carbon copy of you. how to have that not work and have them run away from you, how to avoid getting backstabbed, try not to get too close, especially when she's the friend you supposedly turn to toast, how to avoid meddlers, you don't need help from anyone, how to feel worthless unless you're winning, I'll teach you all this in 8 easy steps, a course of these 6 sweeps you'll never forget, you'll learn how to win in 8 easy steps, I'll show you how to cheat your way through, you're taught by the best. As you can tell, my belt has not gotten that much better. I still have that strain sound. It's better than it once was, but I can't go here and say, wow, look at this magical transformation between 16-year-old me and almost 26-year-old me, which is a little sad. But then again, I am not a professional singer. I do this for fun. We're going to skip all the way ahead to 2015. And with 2015, we have my first attempt to really pick out some harmonies, to really create an a cappella backing track. This was my Ugly Story cover that I did spring of 2015, senior year of high school, 17 years old. Let's give what I did back then a listen. Dun 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 dun.
I'm a prince and I live in a ship and I aim my rifle and I shoot from the hip and I have a friend I pity quite a bit. She said, grab your gun, let's have some fun, share with me your parages. I have responsibilities, I cannot run, I do not wish to die.
And now let's see what I do with it now. Dun 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 dun. I'm a prince and I live in a ship and I aim my rifle and I shoot from the hip and I have a friend I pity quite a bit. She said, grab your gun, let's have some fun, share with me your parages. I have responsibilities, I cannot run, I do not wish the death of every living thing. I might be a killer, but one day I shall be queen and put an end to slaughter. But until then I'm keen and seeking claim to land and sea and everything between. I'm not about to fill in all those harmonies under that last bit. I wanted to keep going. Now, time to skip a little further into 2015, and we're going to enter what I'm going to call the Steven Universe era, aka when I started recording every single song in Steven Universe. Now, I technically started doing that about 6 months prior when I recorded Stronger Than You, but we're gonna revisit Stronger Than You in a little bit. But for now, this is a cover of Do It For Him, Do It For Her. I did not do it justice when I was 17 years old.
Keep your stance wide, keep your body lowered, as you're moving forward, balance is the key. Right foot, left foot, now go even faster, and as you're moving backwards, keep your eyes on me.
You can probably tell that I've learned how to hide when I can't hit a low note. Since I was trying to sing both Pearl and Connie's part, I was like trying to affect my voices to differentiate them, meaning I brightened up Connie's a lot and darkened Pearl's a lot to the way where it didn't really sound super natural. That is something that I fixed here. But let's hear how I have improved. You'll do it for him, and you would do it again. You'll do it for her, and that's to say you'll do it for him. Keep your stance wide, keep your body lowered, as you're moving forward, balance is the key. Right foot, left foot, now go even faster, and as you're moving backwards, keep your eyes on me. Now we're going to skip to 2016. And this is almost a year after the last one. 2015, 2016, that was my freshman year of college. I was just, figuring stuff out, did not record nearly as much as I used to. But I did record this.
Let's go, just me and you. Let's go, your reign is through. Go ahead and try and dodge me if you're able. Can't you see determination makes me stable? I can see you staring at me with those blank eyes. So I'll never let you see the real skies. You're not gonna stop all the monsters down here.
That was the era when everyone was doing Sans Stronger Than You parodies, and I was like, I want to be part of this too. One issue I have with this cover is I was definitely not doing the right voice for it. I don't know why I did such a bright voice. Maybe it was to try and hit all the notes or something. I don't know. Not the right voice, not the right vocal tone. I'm changing that in my redo. Let's give that a listen. Go ahead and try and dodge me if you're able. Can't you see determination keeps me stable? I can see you staring at me with those blank eyes, so I'll never let you see the real skies. You aren't gonna stop all the monsters down here. We won't be destroyed by all your raw fear. If you break me apart, I'll just come back newer with a power that's twice as strong as you are. Human, won't you see your last goodbye? 'Cause I will not die. I will not die. Just don't even try, 'cause I will not die. I will not die. And skipping ahead another few months, this is going to be right before I went into my sophomore year of college, still 2016. This is actually the first video on my YouTube channel, if any of you have been here with me since the very beginning. This was my first YouTube video, but 6 months before I put it on YouTube, I put it on SoundCloud, because I was like, ooh, I'm gonna start putting all my music on SoundCloud, because that's gonna be all super professional. And then 6 months later, I was like, fuck SoundCloud, I'm using YouTube. This wraps up the Steven Universe trifecta with It's Over, Isn't It?
It's over, isn't it? Isn't it? Isn't it over? It's over, isn't it? Isn't it? Isn't it over? You won, and she chose you, and she loved you, and she's gone. It's over, isn't it? Why can't I move on?
Now we're getting to a point where what we're hearing is very similar to what my voice is now. Like, extremely similar. We haven't hit the wall yet. I'll explain the wall later, but we are at a point where you hear this and you're like, yeah, that was Anna. Of course that was Anna. It's still got a little bit of youth to the tone that I'm not a huge fan of, especially in this song. But again, I was 19 when I recorded this. It's been almost 7 years, so let's hear how I did it now. It's over, isn't it? Isn't it? Isn't it over? It's over, isn't it? Isn't it? Isn't it over? You won, and she chose you, and she loved you, and she's gone. It's over, isn't it? Why can't I move on? War and glory, reinvention, fusion, freedom, her attention. Out in daylight, my potential, bold, precise, experimental. Who am I now in this world without her? Petty and dull with the nerve to doubt her. What does it matter? It's already done. Now I have to be there for her son. We have entered 2017, and this is a significant year, specifically because this is when I started my YouTube channel. My channel started January of 2017, and this I posted a couple months later. It is the ever-beloved Dear Theodosia, Give Me Back My Fucking Eyes.
Dear Theodosia, what to say to you? You have my eyes, give me back my fucking eyes. When you came into the world, I cried, 'cause you took my eyes. I can't really do much without my eyes. Domestic life pretty much just can't be done if you smiled. I wouldn't know, I have no eyes. Why do you take my eyes?
Honestly, redoing this one was really fun. I don't have a ton of there's some flat notes. I sound younger than I'd want to sound because I was 19. It's fun. It still holds up, but I think I can make it more fun. Dear Theodosia, what to say to you? You have my eyes, give me back my fucking eyes. When you came into the world, I cried, 'cause you took my eyes. I can't really do much without my eyes. Domestic life pretty much just can't be done when you smile. I wouldn't know, I have no eyes. Why do you take my eyes? We're all celebrating our new nation, but I can't fight for you, can't make it right for you. I can't help to build a strong foundation. Unless you return my eyes, then I can help you rise and you'll blow us all away. Someday, someday, you'll give me back my eyes. Someday, someday. Okay, we are still in 2017. This is the end of my sophomore year of college. I think it's the summer after my sophomore year of college. And this is the period of time where I got my hands on a bootleg score of Heathers. This is one where I don't really know if I have improved significantly at all. I am not good at a mix belt. I'm not great at a lot of more belty musical theater style stuff, including a lot of the stuff that I write, because I've never really developed this mix belt. I only had a couple months worth of voice lessons last year where I sort of accessed it for the first time, explored it. It's not something I practice a lot though. And this past year I haven't really done as much singing as I usually do, just because of the nature of having to work, having to pay bills, capitalism. Capitalism ruins everything. Watch all of my videos. I have a ton of videos about this. It ruins everything. You know, my higher range is a little out of practice, and I think I actually sound better on the high notes in this old version than I do in my new version.
Whoa, or you could come smoke, pound some rum and coke in my Porsche with the quarter pound. Whoa, 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 honey, what you waiting for? Welcome to my candy store. You just gotta prove you're not a loser anymore.
Looking hot, buying stuff they cannot. Drinking hard, maxing dad's credit card. Skipping gym, scaring her, screwing him. Killer clothes, kicking nerds in the nose. If you lack the balls, you can go play dolls. Have your mommy fix you a snack. Or you could come smoke, pound some rum and coke in my Porsche with the quarterback. Honey, what you waiting for? Welcome to my candy store. It's time for you to prove you're not a loser anymore. So step into my candy store. Honestly, I don't love what I'm doing tonally in this new version. Let me know what you think. Am I just overly critical of myself, or, you know, is my mix belt really that bad? All right, we are skipping to 2018. This is my junior year of college. This is right before I went on my study abroad trip. My voice has definitely matured even more as we come into this one. This is a cover of After All from the musical Ever After, which I've never seen or heard any of the other songs from. I covered this song because I saw it in a White Diamond and Pink Diamond animatic. It came out January of 2018, I think, and this, honestly, it did really well. I was actually in Europe. I was in Vienna when this kind of blew up. It's one of those covers that I say blew up. Whenever I say a cover of mine blew up, it got more than 1,000 views, which is so fucking rare, even today, especially today. Like my Suburban Juxtaposition cover that did pretty well for a cover for 413 still has under 1,000 views. My covers don't get more than a couple hundred views ever, but this got a couple thousand. Let's give it a listen.
And there's a pain you can't imagine, a special kind of torture you can feel, the cut that bleeds from somewhere deep inside you, a past regret you cannot heal, and no one guesses all the while you're praying that screaming little stranger in your arms might just grow up and save you after all, might just grow up and save you after all.
Honestly, sounds pretty decent. My main complaint is my high range isn't particularly developed, and I think my head voice has gotten better since then. You can hear in this improved cover that it like rings a little more. It sounds a little nicer. I have made some minor improvements, but we're at a fairly solid spot here. I mean, I am 20 years old here. I'm no longer 16. But yeah, let's give the new version a listen. What would a mother not do for her child? What heights would a mother not climb? There's a bond that exists between mother and child, and it only gets deeper with time. There's a promise for life between mother and child, and to break it there's no greater pain. You're shaken to your soul by an ache you can't erase, like the tears you never cried but still keep scrubbing off your face. And there's a pain you can't imagine, a special kind of torture you can feel, a cut that bleeds from somewhere deep inside you, a past regret you cannot heal. And no one guesses all the while you're praying that screaming little stranger in your arms might just grow up and save you after all. Might just grow up and save you after all.
Now we're in summer of 2018, and here is a song that Okay, disclaimer. You're gonna listen to the old version and then you're gonna listen to the new version and you're gonna be like, why does the new version sound so much worse? Well, thing is, when I was gathering all the backing tracks and setting up all the stuff to record this at Jonaya's place, I totally forgot that when I recorded this back in 2018, I took the backing track down a whole step. In this new version, I am fucking screaming my lungs out because I'm singing notes that I did not make myself sing back in 2018. So background for this cover, 2018 is when I saw the pre-Broadway version of the Jagged Little Pill musical that hit Broadway in 2019. If you know my channel, you know I did lots of covers from that because you know my deep-seated love of Alanis Morissette. And this cover I did back in 2018, I listened on loop to a bootleg version of Forgiven. I just picked out all the harmonies by ear. I did everything completely by ear. Honestly, I was pretty fucking close. I have the piano vocal, and I've like checked the harmonies that I made up against the piano vocal. I was pretty fucking spot on. I missed some like lyric stuff that you couldn't really hear in the bootleg I was listening to, but honestly, I did a pretty good job. Let's give it a listen.
My brother,
no.
They never
No.
went blind for what they did, but I may as well have in the name of the Father, the skeptic and the Son. I had one more stupid question. Sinner, I have my reason to be rich. I still have a thing or two to learn. I still need something to cling to. So I wait.
Yeah, not bad. Those high notes are a high note that I can comfortably hit today and back then. Now we're gonna listen to one with some high notes that I cannot comfortably hit either today or back then.
Let's sing Alleluia in the choir. Alleluia, Alleluia, Alleluia. I confess my darkest deeds to an envious man. My brother, they never went blind for what they did, but I may as well have in the name of the Father, the skeptic and the Son. I had one more stupid question. I had my reason to be there. I still have a thing or two to learn. I still need something to cling to. So I wait.
And now we are hitting something that I am calling the wall. Once we reach 2019, that's pretty much what my voice is. 21 years old, graduated undergrad,
my voice has not significantly improved since I was 21. I've got a couple more songs on the roster, things that I have a couple tweaks I wanted to make, some things where I want to like just test myself, but for the most part, this is where my voice is where it is. And for a lot of cases, I'm going to sound significantly worse than I did in those old recordings. The main improvement either being pronunciation or character voice or something having to do with recording equipment, since I am using Jonaya's recording equipment now. But that's like 4 years of covers that I don't want to just forget about. So let's push on. So we're gonna go to an offshoot SoundCloud I made in 2019 to just sort of stick fun Homestuck stuff, and we're gonna listen to a little known parody that very few people have heard. It is a parody of Changing My Major to Joan from Fun Home, but about Theodosia and Stels, because who else am I gonna write a parody about in 2019?
I feel just like the Empress. Oh god, that sounds ridiculous. Just keep on sleeping through this and I'll work on calming down. So by the time you've woken up, I'll be cool, I'll be collected, and I'll have found some dignity. But who needs dignity? Cause this is so much better. I'm radiating happiness. Will you stay here with me for the rest of the semester? We won't need any food, just sex and nothing else. Sex with Stels!
You can probably tell that my voice for Theodosia has really evolved over the years. I often cite this song as sort of a turning point for her voice because while I was recording this song I realized I can't rely so heavily on the vocal fry because you can't sing with the vocal fry. But you can also hear this is a little more nasal than I usually do here. In my early attempts at Theodosia, I was trying to emphasize the W's and the M's more because of her type quirk. I hadn't really picked up on how obnoxious that sounds yet. So like you can hear like I'm struggling through the will you stay here with me? Like that doesn't sound right. No. You know, with my much improved voice for her and the fact that I've been paid a decent amount of money to voice this character, let's hear how she sings this song now.
I feel just like the Empress. Oh god, that sounds ridiculous. Just keep on sleeping through this and we'll work on calming down. So by the time you've woken up, I'll be cool, I'll be collected, and I'll have found some dignity. But who needs dignity? Cause this is so much better. I'm radiating happiness. Will you stay here with me for the rest of the semester? We won't need any food, just sex and nothing else. Sex with Stels. I'm writing a thesis on you. Who cares about law when it's just us two? Each class will be agony through and through, unless the topic is on you. I will study my way down your spine, familiarize myself with your well-made outline, while you research mine.
So, again, I really don't know if my voice per se has improved much since then. I'm definitely getting the character down better, but I'm also like cracking in places where I don't usually, or I didn't crack then. Again, it has to do with the fact that I am kind of out of practice. Adult life has just gotten in the way of me singing as much as I want to. But there are also some significant improvements. This is something that I picked up on last year when I did the DPB show. Theodosia is actually not that bad a voice to do for higher, like I used to think like, oh no, her voice is so low down, she's gotta like sing tenor. But like when I did that cover of, what's it called? Standby for Darius Punk Band, I was like, oh, this is gonna be so high, this is gonna be hard. But I can actually ride on that back of the throat nature of her voice to sort of stick it higher up in my head. Now we're gonna skip to summer of 2020, where I did my much beloved Broadway Stuck 2020. I was going through Broadway Stuck 2020, trying to see like which of these songs do I think I could improve on, but then I re-listened to Derse Dreamers, which is another Horizon cover, this one as Rose, and you know, well, when I sang it, it was a little bit overwrought. It's very jumpy. Horizon's songs are really tricky and really jumpy, and you know, they're not based around vocal music. They're vocal tracks written to an instrumental song, and they're really hard to sing. And I don't know how much I really improved it, but let's take a listen to the old version.
Somewhere there's a world we were meant to create, but it seems that we are not stronger than they went my way. What can I say? I wish I believed things would be okay.
It's very flippy, very up and down. Somewhere there's a world we were meant to create. Like that, create. It's tricky, especially when you're jumping from a strong belt to that high note. It's not an easy song, and I don't think I improved it that much.
Whoa, somewhere there's a world we were meant to create, and it seems that we are not stronger than fate. You went my way. What can I say? I wish I believed things would be okay. I wish I believed. I wish I believed. I wish I believed.
If anything, I made that one worse. For this final one, so we're skipping 2021. 2021 is kind of a lost year when it comes to recordings, which is kind of sad. Not that I didn't record anything in 2021. I recorded plenty, but they were all songs that I wrote. Because I know them so intimately, that feels like not a good test of my voice. So yeah, I'm skipping to 2022. And what did I record in 2022? All of Daria's Punk Band the Musical. What am I not good at? High belting. What was that full of? Take a fucking guess. Daria's Punk Band the Musical is post me figuring out how to use Melodyne. So, the songs in the DPB musical are pretty in tune. Very in tune, actually. To the point where they sound a little robot-y. Like, you can tell that I tuned these up because my vocal tone, like, Melodyne basically changes your vocal tone when it takes it up. And this song here is one of the worst examples of overtuning, which was I Miss the Misery.
Don't let me get in your way. I miss the lies and the pain, the fights that keep us away. Hey, hey, I'm telling you, I miss the bad things, the way you hate me. Miss the scream in the way that you blame me. Miss the phone calls when it's your fault. Miss the late nights, don't miss you at all. I like the kick in the face and the things you do to me.
Now, for whatever reason, I decided it would be smart to, a year later, try and fry my voice again doing the same song that hurt so very much the first time. I am not a bastion of vocal health. Please do not take me as an example. I hurt my voice singing this song both this time and last year. You can probably hear it's tuned in a lot of places, and you can tell that it's been tuned. And I wanted to try it again to see if I could hit it more in tune and make it sound less falsely tuned. I don't know if I pulled that off.
I've been a mess since you came. I've been a wreck since you changed. Don't let me get in your way. I miss the lies and the pain, the fights that keep us away. I'm telling you, I miss the bad things, the way you hate me. Miss the scream in the way that you blame me. I miss the phone calls when it's your fault. Miss the late nights, don't miss you at all. I like the kick in the face. I love the way that it hurts.
Yeah, that's it. That is 15 little minute-ish long clips of songs showing how I've improved in the last 10 years. This video was actually inspired by a video that Horizon made. Horizon, the singer of so many extremely difficult songs that I would love to be able to hit but can't because I'm not a high belter. They did a video where they basically showed all their covers from the first one they posted in I think 2009 up until their most recent original song that they posted a couple weeks prior, and honestly it was really inspiring. It's like, oh wow, look at how much this person, and they were starting at a very good starting point. But yeah, I really wanted to, I saw this, I wanted to do it myself, and I wanted to put my own twist on it. So yeah, let me know what you thought. And if you are a singer yourself, I'd love to see your improvement too, because seriously, I'm very untrained. I have some choral training and I have half a semester's worth of voice lessons under my belt. I am 95% self-taught when it comes to vocal music. It's amazing what just 10 years in front of a microphone can do. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Huge thanks to my patrons, Jonaya Riley, Tev Linsey, Stinky, Rosalie Ross, and Jeremy M. I got a new patron. I never get a new patron. I'm so happy. If you want to see what else I'm doing, my social media is in the links below, and my Discord server is there as well if you want to just show up and hang out. If you like music but aren't a big fan of my voice, I have instrumental music as well. In the links below, my album Gamer Girl Floodwater is out. It is on Bandcamp, Spotify, any streaming platform you can think of, and it is the music you are hearing in the background right now, and for all of my videos forthcoming. If you want to hear me talk about music some more, I just released a new podcast with Jojo Funk McLovin talking about the music education system in public school and its flaws, and I also have the episode where we talked about music higher ed and its flaws. You can check that out right here. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.